Celebrate with the one to watch.
The Ansett Cup, proudly brought to you by Nike. What are you getting ready for? Holden Commodore Series 2. Drive the pride, drive the passion, drive on. Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning. Hahn Premium Light, now that's taste. TAC and Ansett Australia, official airline to the AFL. Seven Sports takes you to Waverley for Ansett Australia Cup semi-final action between the Kangaroos and Carlton.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening to Gerard Healy. It's pretty warm, Gerard, isn't it?
It certainly is, Bruce. Going to be very hot for the players, but dry heat, so not too bad with all things considered.
Who's travelling better, do you think, as we get to the semi-final stage, the Kangaroos or the Blues?
Well, I think it's got to be the Kangaroos. They're going to go into this match red-hot favourites by virtue of the way they got here. It was a tough victory over the Tigers. Sydney also got off to a fly. They came back after half-time and won well. And Brisbane, well, they were down and out last week. It was an extraordinary victory to get up. But you have a look at the Blues. Well, they started also well, but the quality of the opposition has left a bit to be desired in comparison to the Kangaroos.
Well, the Kangaroos that won the premiership, the Coca-Cola premiership, against Carlton in September last year. They've got 16 players from that premiership team playing tonight. Those in red did not play in that winning grand final team.
No, and the word this week at the Kangaroos has been dynasty. Dennis Pagan's just signed a new multi-million-dollar contract for 4 years. He's going to be around, and most of the players in red are new, and they're looking for a premiership to become an integral part of that dynasty. And great to see Lee Colbert still playing and improving. And Ryan Pagan, he's been in good form. Let's see if he can push up and get us spot in next week's grand final if they can get over the line.
Well, speaking of Pagan, Ryan's father Dennis spoke with the Big Dipper before the match.
Thanks very much, Bruce. Always great to catch up with you, Dennis. Warm conditions. We don't have 2 extra players on the bench. Is this a concern to you?
Oh, look, your player safety is always a concern, but, you know, with the not a great humidity tonight, no direct sunlight, I think our players will cope with it okay, and by the time we start at 9 o'clock, you know, I wouldn't think it'd be that oppressive.
You must have been really impressed last week about the way the boys turned around in the last quarter against the Lions.
Yeah, they were terrific. You know, it looked pretty grim there for a while, but they, you know, kicked 4 or 5 goals in the last quarter to virtually nothing and win the game, and it was a pretty special effort.
And what's it like coming from a day premiership, now you're playing off to play a night premiership? I mean, for the people out there, some people think that this is sort of Mickey Mouse sort of competition, but as far as the players and the club's concerned, it's not. We really haven't talked about premierships. We've talked about, you know, the process and the program we've got in place, and our players have done everything that we've asked. We're an opportunity now to, if we win tonight, to get into another opportunity to have a crack at a premiership. And look, I think our players would be really keen to do that, and I hope the proof's in the pudding tonight, Robert. And Jason McCartney back in the side. He's served his suspension. He'll be a handy player to have, and he'll be very proud to be back in that side too.
Yeah, he's been excellent in the reserves while he's served his suspension and done everything that we've asked, and he's a welcome inclusion into our side. Well,
it's always great catching up with you, Dennis, and Bruce, back to you.
Thanks, Dipper. And no Michael Sexton tonight. He's dropped out. Dean Rice, we knew, was not going to play. So they're out of the squad for the Blues. They've got 15 that played in that losing grand final team last year.
And a couple of important omissions from last weekend. The grand final, Silvani, Koutafidis and Hamill. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the side that runs out, but lots of red names there, lots of players highlighted. And those players are going to try and impress the coach and the coaching panel tonight. Mick Mansfield really trying to improve and satisfy the coaches that he has been worth recruiting.
Be interesting to see where O'Reilly plays. A big night for him, I think, with the Blues. Wayne Britton is the acting coach through the Ansett Cup, and he's with Robert Dipper Domenico.
Yes, with me, Wayne Britton. Wayne, on last week's game, did you think you played good enough to win?
We had our opportunities to win it late in the game. I thought we were a bit disappointing the last 10-15 minutes of the second quarter, but other than that, we were pretty happy with the way our blokes went.
You're missing a few players tonight, as in Koutafidis and Hamill, but also you're picking up some experience, and personally I'm looking forward to see Fraser Brown back on the tape.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with the team that we've got out there tonight. We think it'll account itself really well.
And the coaching, I mean, you've got the role early in the season. Have you enjoyed it?
I always enjoy coaching, whether I'm coaching the reserves. It's been a terrific experience and it's been good fun. Yeah.
And tonight's game, the Kangaroos are in very good form after a terrific win against the Lions last week.
Yeah, I mean, they're always a hard side to beat. Their record sort of over the last couple of years hasn't been that great against them. We're just grateful we've got another chance to play them.
Well, thanks for joining us and good luck for tonight, Wayne.
All right, thanks, Dipper.
Yeah, the Big Dipper there with Wayne Britton. So both the teams are out there. Some great players. Camporelli, a star for the Blues. And we'll be back with the opening bounce of this first of the semi-finals in the Ansett Australia Cup right after this. And welcome back to Waverley Park and a warm welcome to Kevin Bartlett. Should be a great game, Kevin.
Thanks, Bruce. Yes, looking forward to this game. North Melbourne, of course, reigning premiers, and we've got the grand final sides here tonight. North Melbourne always field very strong sides.
They do, and I think the Big Dipper's trying to keep cool down there, Dipper.
I certainly am, Bruce, and one way of doing it is down here near the Kangaroos bench, where I'll keep cool with one of my many fans here at Waverley, but looking forward to this terrific game between two professional sides. And we saw them in the grand final last year, and I expect a terrific game. We'll catch up with the benches later on. Bruce, back to you.
Thanks, Dipper. It's a pretty good crowd here tonight in very warm weather. We're expected to get down to 28. That is through the course of this match tonight. That won't be the overnight minimum, and currently it's still 35. But as both Gerard and Dennis Pagan said, it's a dry heat tonight, not as humid as it was a couple of weeks ago when it was stifling conditions.
Wayne Carey's gone to full forward, and he's been picked up by the new recruit, and Stephen O'Reilly. Last week, the Blues flooded their defence against Port Adelaide, and it may well have worked to their detriment. Let's see if they go in with that sort of tactic tonight.
So the Kangaroos to the left of screen here. Strange game footy, isn't it? Burton in the ruck for the Kangaroos and O'Reilly at fullback for Carlton. I reckon they would have pinched themselves this time last year if they thought that was happening. Abraham tries a back turn. He's caught up early, and it will be a ball up.
And Scott Camporelli went to full forward, and a late change there for Carlton. Rushed down into the goal square, was picked up by Byron Pickett.
So Burton building it forward. Archer was strong. Abraham set sail for goal. That's a good kick. He's just missed. What a goal-winning kick last week to get them going late in that match when they came from nowhere to beat the Lions. Who's on the bench for the Kangaroos, Dipper?
Well, we've got Robert Scott, John Blakey, Calthorpe, Clayton, Scholl and Adam Hay.
Pretty good bench for the Kangaroos. Pretty strong club. Very strong list of players. Hickmott from the back pocket. Kicks back towards the edge of the centre square. Big pack of players. There's Colbert. That'll bring a smile to the coach's face. Lee Colbert just slowly regaining some of that great form he showed with the Cats. Centre half forward, Hickmott. Make that Beaumont. In front, good grab. Usually plays on the forward line. Raking left foot goes out very, very wide. He's looking for Allen. Manton, the crummer. Mansfield runs to the edge of the centre square, just wobbles the ball forward to 50. Loose players picked up. Lappin is dangerous. 45 metres out and closes. Lappin has missed.
Well, they're the sort of goals he's got to bury. It's only early in the year, and like all players, he's going to get better as his touch improves. But Carlton have come into this game without a couple of key players, a couple of tallish players in Silvani, and of course Anthony Koutafidis, and Sexton pulling out has exposed them a little bit, so the ground level players are going to have to kick the bulk of the goals.
White chasing with Whitnell, who also will be a very important player in terms of their goals. Pagan's back turn was good to Bell, along the line to Burton. Burton gives it off to Stevens. Stevens, who returned to the team last week successfully. What a player he is. Now Harvey, little forward kick. Allen getting back, the best and fairest of the club last year. The handball was excellent to Mackay. Mackay at centre wing, kick down the line, finds its target in Whitnell. Allen, Mackay, Whitnell, won't they be important in year 2000? So will Brown, turns around, neat looking kick to full forward, front spot for Vola. Pickett's hands were good, in the pocket, Bell over the top, back to Mickey Martin, little left footer, Whitnell traps it, oh clever, got it onto his boot in a hurry, Bradley sits, waits, turns, little one goes for full forward, for Vola, couldn't, Martin was terrific, and coming away at the back, Lang, it was cut off though, the Blues have still got a chance, Pickett keeps his eye on it, back from Lang to Pickett, it's frantic early, and gets out to about 50, and now the Blues come forward, Bradley couldn't quite get hold of it.
Beaumont, long raking handball, tries to set it up. Camporelli, 45 metres out, backing back is Bell. The old firm for North Melbourne, working hard in defence. What a spoil before by mighty Mick Martin on for Vola. Stevens drills it. Free kick to Colbert.
It's just incredible defence, isn't it? Carlton had 3 opportunities where it looked to me as if they were in for a certain goal, and yet from nowhere came the Kangaroos defence.
Archer takes the front position. The crummer, Winston Abraham, wobbles the ball towards centre half forward. Out comes the King, a slap on. Chance now for Grant. He needs a kind bounce. He's running into the open goal, kicks it off the ground. Over the line. Boundary throw in. Just couldn't quite get that bounce, Jared.
Well, I think he tapped it on a couple of times, KB, when maybe if he looks at the replay, he would reconsider, and he could have taken it and kicked it with greater control. Even that one there, he could have grabbed it.
Maybe he could have just got both hands on the ball. Boundary throw in. Mackay, All-Australian. Coming off a great year. Simpson has got it just outside of 50.
And goes long. 2 full forward, carries his target. O'Reilly was with him. Well read there by Hickmott. Coming away, and the kick to centre wing is marked by Houghton. Houghton getting a new lease of life with the Blues. A few years ago at Collingwood. King, who was so important last week in the final term, he was the spark that probably brought the Kangaroos their win in the end.
And Ratton appears to have started the game on the bench, Bruce, which means perhaps he'll just interchange with Brown at either quarter time or half time.
Stevens put down by Brown. Hickmott to Mackay. Back to centre wing. Franchina was good. Brown getting involved early, which is a good sign. He's only played half a reserves match so far this season, injuring that shoulder in the final last year. And who's on the bench for the Blues? Dipar.
Well, Joe did mention Ratton. He's on the bench with Adam White, Prendergast, Hume, Christou and Chatfield.
This will be a great test for young Favola, kicking 12 goals in the Millennium game. Most number of goals kicked in the Ansett Cup game. But he's got Mighty McMartin tonight as an opponent. We'll see how good he is. Lang, thought he had it for the Kangaroos, all tied up, still on centre wing. Need a loose ball. Camporelli, hurried kick. They have the numbers in defence. King. Just waiting to set it up. Motlop on a lead. That's been ignored. Lang makes position out wide. That's been ignored as well. So King, caught in 2 minds, decides to kick the ball long. Colbert's a target. Big pack of players. Archer, the crummer. Feeds the ball back to Stevens, picking up some early possessions. Great smother by Mackay. Does it well. The Blues come forward. Massey, a long ragging handball to Camporelli. Drills it to Favola. Make that not Favola. That's Simon Fletcher.
And he's a kid, I think, that was very unlucky to miss out on the grand final side last year. Must have been a toss-up whether it was going to be Matthew Hogg or this young player.
Well, he won the best and fairest in their reserves, Jared. This is a good kick. It's going right to the line. He's got
it. Blues in front early days, or night, I should say, with Fletcher's goal. Camporelli was looking for a free kick and will get the second one, I think, for the high.
Advantage.
And going on towards the pocket for Favola. And not much advantage in the end, was it, for the Blues, as the ball got wide. And so hanging on first, but it was the high one coming in that didn't get that one, but he got that one in more ways than one. So a 6-point margin to Carlton. Front spot was Lang. Brown has been busy. That's not a bad kick, right to the goal. Very well done at the back there by McCartney. Taller against Franchina and conceding a behind.
We saw Ryan Pagan there. He's got the job on Scott Camporelli. And Bruce, we're in the presence of 3 great coaches here tonight. David Parkin, of course, and Dennis Pagan, and Kevin Bartlett. He played golf with Carrie Webb during the week, and he's taken full credit for her being the leader of the Open, the Ladies Open at the moment.
Thanks, Jared. Allen to Bradley, goes short. Franchina was the flyer. Whitnell tried to spear the ball out, taken by Pickett. Gets support from King. Such a tough backline, North Melbourne. They use the ball well out of defence. Find Grant. Norm Smith medalist from the half-back line. Drills it. Simpson was a target. Coming through strongly was Harvey. Point of the centre square to Motlop. Just a handful of games last year, including the grand final. This is a good kick. Backing back was Mansfield. That showed courage. Manton paddles the ball long, goes to ground. Got to keep your feet. The King's got it. Carey. Colbert. Fed it off to Winston Abraham. 50 metres out. Winston Abraham bends it back. Not enough.
There's Mansfield and Abraham. So a couple of behinds to Winston. He had Stevens on his own in the square. I'm not sure if he was able to see him, but
I've been thinking about that goal he kicked last week, Bruce, which was one of the best kicks we've seen in this Ansett Cup.
Adam White now about to go on for the Blues and Favola off.
So quick change there. Will change the balance of their lineup. Dipper there on the boundary line. Allen to O'Reilly. O'Reilly, he's cut off by Martin. He's got a new opponent now. Mickey's centering kick is a good one. Into the heart of the centre square. Simpson always looks to have plenty of time. Not such a good kick. Almost a clever mark by the Blues, but O'Reilly not paid. Over the top of it was Camporelli. Ball still to be won. Motlop pushing the ball forward. Camporelli, he arches that back. He's a clever player and kicks in the direction of Bradley.
No, it's been played downfield. And now advantage.
So against the Kangaroos, is it? Against Archer, maybe. So Bradley setting sail. Whitnell the target. McCartney back with him. Whitnell goes to ground. McCartney, little kick. Was too far in the end. He might have been going for Simpson. It was too far for King. Simpson holds out. And the advantage paid. And it goes to King, and King's kick along the line is a good one. Stevens has got a bit of space. He was held up well, though. Back to Grant, they play the 1-2 to Stevens. Decides not to, goes over the top. Colbert busy early. He's between centre wing and half forward.
Some nice signs here for Lee Colbert. After that knee operation, Allen parks himself. High flyer. Couldn't take it for North. Archer slapped on. The crummer. Stevens doing well. Quick snap. Bounces it through for a behind.
Bruce has said that Lance Whitnell went to his knees, which I guess reminds us that the experimental rules aren't in vogue in this semi-final aspect of the Ansett Cup. And we go back, and Jeff Geeshan's sitting beside us. It'll be interesting to know how many throw-ups there is during the match with those rules not in play.
Massey to Camporelli. Goes short. This is a good mark taken by Fletcher from the half-back line. Finds Fraser Brown. His first hit out. He's looking pretty sharp. Had that bad shoulder injury in the grand final to Lappin. On centre wing. Real talent, Matthew Lappin. Puts the ball out in front. Too much carry. That time for Whitnell.
Important change for Carlton. Ratton on and Fraser off.
I think we can see already that Carlton are kicking the ball a hell of a lot longer than they were last year. We know they changed their game plan with about 6 weeks to go, and even again in the final when they got belted by Brisbane, they kicked the ball longer, and tonight it's on display once again.
Colbert got the kick off the ground by Spider Burton. Well, the whistle is gone. Free kick to North Melbourne.
Colbert's got it at centre wing. As Kevin said, some good signs here with Colbert early. Carey, did he mark it? It's been paid. It was very close to the ground, but he made it. He's 50 metres out and a bit further. That's a great kick. Have a look at the King. He's drilled it through.
And a great matchup too, Andrew McKay against Glenn Archer. A couple of tough players. Allen to Ratton. Speaking of tough, out of the centre square, loves it. Tough in the clinches. Loose ball. King caught by Beaumont. Great one grab take, that by Camporelli. Thought he might have been taken high. Kangaroos keep forcing the ball forward. Simpson on the bottom of the pack. They'll pile on top. Ball up. It's the diving on the ball rule, not used in the finals. That's been in the preliminary games. Camporelli catching one high there. That time by Ryan Pagan. Harvey kicks long, arches the target. Look at the big fist there of McKay. Blues playing well across half-back. Tough tackling, caught high. Got to be a free kick. Goes to Archer.
Now Carey to make the lead. Archer kicks it wide. Abraham high. Should get a free kick. He will. Mansfield giving away a free. Abraham, was a poor kick actually by Archer, missed kick, and it caught a couple of them out. Abraham was in the box seat, and I think Mansfield in desperation has given away a free kick. He's already had a couple of shots for goal. So Abraham, who on the run you'd say will have no problem at all with this kick. Let's see from a set shot. He's so highly skilled. You'd back him here. It's about 45 metres out, 60-degree angle maybe. Very careful with it. and guiding and missing. Maybe too careful in the end. So he's kicked 3 behinds Abraham in this opening term. The Kangaroos lead by 10-8.
Gerard, do you think we'll see Archer in the forward a bit more this year? And obviously with McCartney back, Lee Colbert finally centre-half forward quite cosy tonight.
Well, I think it's an option, Dipper, and with Lee Colbert, he's such a versatile player. Those two players may just interchange many times from the half-forward line to the half-back line.
Nelson goes long to Allen. 20 votes in the Brownlow medal last year to Fletcher. Kicks the ball to the half-forward line. Big pack of players. Houghton was the high flyer. Camporelli with pace. Looking for Whitnell. Got a bad bounce. Pickett gets a good one. Goes wide. Spaces on North Melbourne side. Just ambling to the ball is Motlop. He's a left footer. Sets it up. Finds Grant.
He's really got to try and hold him up here because he's got Peter Bell running free.
And does he run hard, Gerard? All the way from the back pocket. Then short. Finds Carey. Fantastic runner, Peter Bell. Just keeps running from contest to contest to contest. A true on-baller.
And it's that courage to be able to run through the lines and do it when he's tired that's made him one of the great midfielders of the competition.
He's already kicked 1 great goal in this opening quarter. Wayne Carey from just outside of 50. Just sliding it left. Through for a minor score.
16 goals to Carey so far in the competition. He kicked 3 in the opening game, and then 8, and then 4. Favola's got 15 at the other end, 12 of them coming in the Millennium match.
Change once again. White coming off and Favola back on.
So 11-8 here. 1-5 to 1-2. Good shot there as we saw what was in front of the full-back as he was kicking in. Simpson on his wrong side, floats and wobbles, not particularly well. And in the front spot, the mark taken by Fletcher.
And we see him at centre-half back or even deeper. And only 5 or 6 minutes ago, he looked so impressive leading out from full forward.
O'Reilly to Manton. Now, I think that's a fair call by the umpire. Manton looked to be off and has been held up. And it'll be a ball up between centre wing and half forward. Manton disagrees with it.
He's had a great series, Mickey Martin.
He was off.
Every game he's played, he's just been fantastic.
He's going strong, isn't he, Mickey? He's as good as he's ever been. Great to watch, Martin. Burton, Fletcher, Ryan Pagan after him. Nelson with a squeeze. He kicked it. Gets a bit of distance. Martin's at the back of this pack. He comes to ground. Well read there by Harvey. Clever handball. And Pickett takes it and kicks to half forward. Allen misses that one. He's been so effective. Motlop is so skillful. Kicks the ball towards goal. It's going to Carey. He's got it. He'll play on and kick his second. He's just too good.
Kangaroos by 9 points. Wayne Carey has kicked all their goals so far in this opening quarter. Just under 5 minutes left. Spider Burton rockets the ball towards Stevens. Driven into the ground was Lappin. No free kick. Kangaroos come forward. Here's a chance. O'Reilly parked in front. He'll take the free kick.
With Wayne Carey playing so deep down at full forward, it's always much more difficult to drop a player back. If you're at centre-half forward, you can get one of your ruckmen to drop back a little bit more easily, but at full forward, almost impossible.
Hickmott playing in defence. So good during the finals, playing on the forward line. McKay unloads a big bomb to centre-half forward. Look at Pickett from behind. Went the big punch. McCartney tries to ward off Camporelli. No free kick. Hume working hard at the bottom of the pack. Camporelli off target. Way off target.
He had an option in Lance Whitnell, which he ignored, but those shots from behind, which is a new camera angle, I think just is a fantastic look at what the player has got and decisions that he has to make when he's got the ball in his hands.
Well, it gives us a good idea what's happening downfield. Here's Spider over the top, too tall for Houghton. Could be a big pick-up, Spider Burton. Simpson feeds the ball off. Pagan down, and here's Colbert playing in front. I like the signs tonight for Colbert. He's already had 5 possessions and taken 3 marks. Carey's the target. O'Reilly takes the front position. Archer coming in. Here's a chance. Carey could kick his third. Squeezed up in the pocket. Hooks to the square. It's a bouncing ball. Stevens.
Touched off the boot.
Touched off the boot. Yeah.
It was certainly through, Jared. It was a clever kick in the end, but it was touched off the boot. Get a good view here of Carey, O'Reilly and Archer nearly cleaning Carey up, but avoiding it, Carey.
Pushed him into the contest.
So here's the shot,
level.
Shot behind Bradley, and couldn't agree more with you, Jared. It's a great view of what's in front. Bradley, uncertain just for the moment. He's going to go wide and deep. Allen's the target. They rely so much on him to take a number of marks around the ground. Well played by Pickett, and then goes back to fall forward. Bill was a target, an unlikely one. Carey, still Carey, hooking, and missing. 2-2 to Carey. Getting plenty of it though, isn't he? In the early stages, so that's a danger sign for the Blues. It's 19-8.
I think Dipper's point about Lee Colwood is a well-made one. We don't really, I think, know how good a player he's going to be in this early part of the year because he's coming back from a knee injury. But he is a star player, and when he comes to, when he gets his confidence back to 100%, and he takes over that centre-half forward position as Matthew Allen comes off with the blood rule, the Kangaroos just look such a formidable forward line. If Archer's there, McKernan's there, Carey's there, and Colbert playing at his best, it's going to be a pretty tough. You're going to have a pretty good backline, KB, to prevent it from winning.
I'd be surprised if Archer doesn't play in defence, though, because that defence of North Melbourne has been so strong. McCartney has been good at centre-half back for them, even though he missed the grand final. You throw in, of course, Mick Munn at fullback and Archer. They've just complemented each other for so long. Yep. Archer can always pinch in on the forward line, which he does. He's a Mr. Fix-It, no doubt about that. Nelson. You see there, not a great deal to kick to. Has to kick to the big pack of players. They need a crummer. McCartney goes to ground. Last week wouldn't have been allowed to do that. He can tonight. Spider didn't really hit a target. Hume happy to paddle the ball over the line in front of Harvey.
So the Blues stuck a bit here, aren't they? They started all right, but they have had trouble from half forward on. Darren Hume. Under play, would be looking to get plenty of posies, trying to nullify a Harvey or a Bill. Archer at a best, and then hooks the ball right back to the point of the square, and in the front spot, Hickmott took the mark.
He's strong overhead, Hickmott.
Very good. You could just see in there that they were double teaming Wayne Carey at that boundary throw-in.
McKay, again, that look as he's trying to search for somebody to go to, and he's going to go wide, and Whitnall's his target, but Pagan was in the front spot. And now the Kangaroos, McCartney a bit off the side and wide. Harvey, good mark. Front spot, he held his ground against the bigger player in Nelson. And then launched himself a bit and took a clever mark in the end. He'll punch it hard and long. Now he's going to take on Nelson. Then gets on his wrong side, still kicks with his right foot. Wants Carey. O'Reilly positioned himself well. The Harvey kick was awkward for Carey. As we have a look at O'Reilly going out wide, and he wants Whitnall, and he's got him this time at half back. So the Blues having real trouble getting past the centre at the moment. Lappin, still Lappin, taking Pickett on. Kick to Beaumont. Well played though by King. Was able to take it off him at the end, and then go along towards half forward. Front spot for the Kangaroos was Motlop. Comes back to Harvey, keeps his eye on Harvey, then finds a bit of space. Kick inside is clever. Gets to McCartney, and McCartney releases Lang.
Who goes to centre-half forward, playing in front is Massey. In fact, we've got to say Stephen O'Reilly is playing in front of Wayne Carey, and that's the only way to play in front of the King. So strong if he gets in front. Colbert, good signs. A lot of confidence in the leg. Pagan, under pressure, still hit his target. Here's the run of Pike, edge of the centre square. Long bomb. Carey's always the target. Hickmott, double teaming. Good play. Houghton, back to Hickmott. Been very good in this opening quarter to Hume. Little terrier, goes short. Beaumont's the target. Could take it on the second grab. Needs support. Bradley's hand pass was interfered with. Loose ball. Lappin does well. Keeps the ball alive for the Blues. Favola's got mighty Mick to beat. Takes it over. Boundary throw in. Under a minute left in this opening term. 19 plays 8. Kangaroos in control.
And once again, we saw the value of Adrian Hickmott leaving his man, dropping back, following the flight of the ball, and sitting in front of Wayne Carey there, and it's saved the Blues a goal with that double team.
Right forward pocket, 45 metres away from the Blues goal. Would love one before quarter time. Hume, very good to Ratton. Ratton's kick for goal. They like it. He's got it. Handy, very late in the opening term. Had the best of it, I thought, the Blues for 5 to 10 minutes, but since then it's been the Kangaroos. But they close it up just before the break.
Yeah, first 7 to 10 minutes. The Blues, I thought, were the best side on the ground. They just couldn't kick a goal. But since then, it's been all Kangaroos. But that one came from nowhere, and not surprisingly, it was two pretty tough nuts in Ratton and Hume combining to put them on the board.
Pat on the back to Hume because he did attack that ball hard.
And that's been his great strength as a player. Last year, he seemed to fall out of favour with the match committee, but with that sort of attack on the footy, he'll no doubt get another opportunity.
He's a hard worker. Stevens has been marked inside the centre square by Massey. One of their young guns. A couple of finals last year for Chris Massey. Lappin keeps the ball alive again. This time, unfortunately, came off the boot of Ratton out on the full. Jason McCartney played every game last year except the grand final. 4 weeks for striking Clark Keaton. To centre wing. Spider just stood his ground. Camporelli's been very lively in this first quarter, and there's Hume again squeezing out a handball to centre half forward. Beaumont's in front, couldn't take it on Pickett. Martin paddles the ball out in front and hits it hard. Mighty Mick unloads a big bomb to centre half forward.
Wobbly one, Colbert underneath it, and that's quarter time. 2-7 to 2-2. Kangaroos by 5 points. Colbert an excellent opening term. Carey's kicked the goals for the Kangaroos. Ratton and Fletcher the goals for Carlton. But Carlton had the best of it early. Then the Kangaroos took charge, but that late goal by Ratton has closed it a bit. So quarter time is 2-7-19 to 2-2-14. Welcome back. Quarter time here. Kangaroos 2-7, Carlton 2-2.
Ansett Australia, the official airline of the AFL, is running an exciting competition during the 2000 Ansett Cup called the Ansett Club Membership Trivia Competition. To be in the running, all you have to do is join your club or be a current member. Watch 7 Sports coverage of the Ansett Cup for the weekly membership trivia quiz questions. Then ring the membership hotline on 1300 367 001 and join your club or quote your 2000 membership number. This week's question is, Tony Modra kicked this unbelievable goal against Hawthorn in his debut for his new club. Who went on to ultimately win the 1999 Ansett Australia Cup? A. Fremantle or B. Hawthorn. So ring 1300 367 001 and you could win some great prizes, including 2 people flying Ansett to 4 interstate games with their team during the home and away season. A double ticket to the Brownlow Medal and a night at the Hilton on the Park Hotel. And 2 tickets to your club's grand final breakfast and the 2000 grand final at the MCG. Plus 16 runners-up prizes of a weekend trip to an interstate game, club merchandise, jacket and bag. So get on the phone now. See your team fly during the 2000 Ansett Cup and win.
Good luck with that, Wayne Britton, as we go down to the Big Dipper, who's got Tim Harrington, the Kangaroo runner. Dipper.
Yeah, I certainly have, Bruce. Well, Tim, you've been very busy in the first quarter. Already you've been on the ground 14 times, 7 up the back, 7 up the front. So what's the feeling like out there?
Pretty intense sort of game. I think it's not often that we get more possessions than the opposition and don't score more on the scoreboard. So our back line's been pretty good, but perhaps not as many chances taken up for us as what we would have liked.
Now, the only way the coach can talk to his players is through you. What's it like talking to Glenn Archer?
I try not to speak to Glenn where possible. He does a lot of speaking to me, but very, very one-way sort of conversation with Archie. Just to get the message and get off quick smart.
Thanks for joining us, mate. Good luck.
Thanks.
We'll keep an eye on you.
And just on those possessions, a total of 90 the Kangaroos and 76 Carlton. 69 in the midfield versus 46 was a point well made.
So Burton to Hickmott. Hickmott crashing through, gets the ball to centre half forward. Front spot there was Houghton, but taken away a little too easily there. This is this Kangaroo defence. McCartney's kick, Archer front spot with McKay. That is a terrific matchup. Simpson was able to push it forward. Abraham brilliantly done, gets a little handball. Simpson, that was a good tackle on Simpson, I think from Nelson. The ball coming out, no, it was from Mansfield. Back to McKay, back to Bradley, 35 years of age, and all of that to Mansfield. Under a bit of pressure as he kicks the ball to centre wing. Whitner was in the front spot. Ball comes away. Pagan had the ball smothered by Franchina. Back to Allen, who's back onto the ground after the blood roll. Camporelli arches that back and then kicks to the forward pocket for Vola. Martin, who's got him covered for the moment, building it over the line for out of play. Our guests at half-time, Anthony Koutafidis, will be up having a look at the first half, telling us about his injury and the injuries at the Blues, and Kevin Sheedy will join us as well.
Kangaroos by 5 points. Mick Martin to do the ruck work with Whitnell. Some pushing and shoving. Test of strength. Hume, very good in the first quarter. Great smother. Off the boot that time by King. Sends it back over the line. Who's on the bench for the Blues?
Yeah, a few changes down here, KB. Beaumont, Chatfield, Christou, Simon Fletcher, Prendergast and Ratton for the Blues.
So a throw in just on 50. Again, Whitnell and Martin will lock horns and arms. Over the top, Pickett. Pulled off the ball, looked like it was King. Let's check it, might be Pagan, Ryan Pagan. He's had the job playing on Scott Camporelli. He's had 9 possessions. Pagan. Spider Burton. Couldn't take it, Bradley can. At ground level, very good. What a grab by Lappin. Quick hands, Franchina. Looking for Brown in the pocket and got him. Marking in front of Stevens. Great mark by Matthew Lappin. He won the mark of the year last year on Channel 7. Goes short. Finds Beaumont. Now, being a left footer, it's his non-preferred side, so it'll be a tough kick. Fraser Brown just marking in front of Stevens. So this to put the Blues in front by a point. It's a tough ask. Beaumont kicked 8 goals in a half against Collingwood last year. Across the face. Hit the post.
A good season, didn't he, last year, Beaumont? Playing all 26 games.
Well, he was
almost his rival, wasn't it?
He was eyeing Fred Fanning's record at half-time against the Pies. I think Matthew Allen mentioned it to him. He didn't kick another goal after that.
With all due respect, it would look strange seeing Simon Beaumont in the record book with 19, wouldn't it? But still, if he'd done it, good on him. But as you say, he had 8 to half-time and everyone was getting excited. King's kick. Whitnell, that's a good grab. Had that sit, admittedly, and then goes in short, and the Blues are everywhere here. Hume's got it. Will test the little fella, you'd think, at 50. Was responsible for the second Carlton goal tonight. So Hume playing his first game this season in the Ansett Australia Cup. Goes short, pokes at the full forward. It was ambitious, Hickmott. Oh, well played. And he's got it. It's a goal.
Well, he was such a good player in the finals last year, Hickmott. 3 goals and then in the grand final also did some nice things. He's had knee problems. Spider Burton and Allen. Points to Spider. Harvey had it and lost it. Bradley, clean hands, rarely fumbles. From the centre square, tumbles the ball forward. Martin paddling the ball long in front. Good enough to get it back to Pike, who just wobbles the ball back. Here's Archer. This is a contest. Archer versus McKay. Carey pushes off O'Reilly. He's got the sit at the back. He's got it. Classic play by Wayne Carey. Led one way. Just out-bodied O'Reilly. Went right. Beautiful kick.
Well, they had the opportunity there, the Blues, with Craig Bradley, the skipper, just bursting through the centre. But the kick just didn't hit the target, didn't scoot off a little bit. All of a sudden, she was reversed and she's into the Kangaroos forward line.
Wayne Carey from 45 metres out, going for his 3rd goal. He's drilled it.
3-2 to Carey, and it's 3-7 to 3-3. So you can see his contribution. Bell out of the centre, building it to half forward, ball over the top. O'Reilly winning that time, and then forced to kick in a hurry from Archer and conceding some ground, but at least finding the line. So 4-point margin. Who's on the bench for the Kangaroos, Dip?
Well, no change for the first quarter. We've got Scott, Blakey, Calthorpe, Clayton, Scholl and Adam Hay. And Carlton have made 8 changes off the bench so far, with the Kangaroos none at all.
It's interesting, isn't it? So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Burton and Allen. Allen front spot, Burton at the back, and then Carey chiming in. Brown, not easy, maybe high, not play on. And now in trouble, Mansfield, he's gone, I think. Scoops it out sort of in the end. Allen keeps his head over the top of it, runs into Manton. Massey was in there. Little one off the ground, came from Lappin, was quite clever. Hume couldn't control it. King forcing forward. Brown was courageous and kept his body in front. Manton back to McKay. McKay wide. Lappin, who could be a real star this year. He looked the one player in the grand final that could sting the Kangaroos in that first half last year. Away. High ball coming from Houghton towards full forward. A one-out contest, and now coming in to try and help him, scooping the ball back towards Whitnell. Whitnell's kick is a clever one. He's goal! What a great kick!
Yes, take a bow, Fraser Brown. Great play across half-back. Really did put the body on the line to enable the Blues to get forward. And young Hume is really making his mark on this game. Allen got a fist to the ball. Beaumont goes to ground. Couldn't find a target. Grant under pressure. Just hooks the ball back towards centre half forward. Manton, hands and knees, scoops the ball out. It was a throw. Harvey. There it is. The Kings got it. Nothing Stephen O'Reilly could do about that one.
No, that was a brilliant pass from Brent Harvey, who had 8 possessions in the first quarter. One of the better players for the Kangaroos. And he's at it again.
Well, great shot here with our cameras. We can see the ball just bending back. He's got it.
So 4 goals to Carey. He's kicked a major contribution here. It's 31 to 27. So 4-7, and Carey's kicked 4 goals too here. Out of the centre, Brown. Leads changed hands a number of times in this second term. Oh, terrific play, King, coming through to Grant, starting to get a fair bit of it. Banging to half forward. Front spot was O'Reilly, taking a chance. He's going to have to do that all night. And then they claim him, the Kangaroos, but good umpiring to let the ball go on. Out to Mansfield, kicks the ball wide. Allen will sit and wait for it, should get it. It's running away from him. Got it now. Will he go over the top? Decides to kick to Brown. Brown can go on here. He's on his left side, but he's a pretty good left foot kick. Goes to half forward with a neat kick. Missed there by Houghton. And Lang was pretty happy to see it go over. So the Kangaroos by 4 points here, 31 to 27. Carey's kicked all 4 goals for North at this stage.
And they made the first change, Bruce, Scholl on and Motlop off, and Scholl playing up the forward line.
Just didn't have enough fizz on that ball that time from Fraser Brown. Abraham to the centre square. Mansfield sets himself. Gets support from Beaumont, says kick it long. Lang at the back of the pack. Slaps the ball on. Kangaroos happy to see it go over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Blakey about to come on, and young Pagan coming off.
Just saw Lang on screen.
And Fletcher on and Hume off.
Just 5 games.
And the conditions, KB, have certainly cooled down since the start of the game, and they're quite pleasant out here.
Some pushing and shoving. O'Reilly was there.
Says Dipper sitting in front of the fan.
Bell thought he had it and lost it. Abraham paddles the ball along. Just somehow just weaved his way out of trouble. So clever. Grant cops a shove in the back. Pickett hits the ball hard and rockets the ball to Blakey. Here comes Bell. Scholl off the interchange bench. Hits Spider Burton on the chest. Clever play by the big man. Just no one at home. Scholl trying to get there as well. He got carted out of the contest. Whitnell kicks the ball back. Look at big Spider. Foreign territory at ground level, does well. Rockets the ball to Simpson. Harvey runs into the open goal from 35 out and kicks it.
Well, sometimes you need one bit of play to make your mark at a club. I reckon Spider's made a bit of a mark there. That was just terrific. Terrific finish by Harvey. Wonderful play by Burton. So the tallest man in the game to one of the smaller ones, eventually with Simpson in between. 5-7 to 4-3. So Kangaroos sneak away, get a couple of kicks in front.
And Lance Whitnell's gone to full back on Wayne Carey.
Well, that is an interesting move. We see them immediately into the action. Hickmott, who got the goal for the Blues in this quarter to put them in front at one stage. Bad bounce there for Allen. Simpson hard at it. With him is Lappin. Allen going to ground. And Pike was there, Massey, and the umpire comes in to take
Anthony Stevens off the ground. Calthorpe on, and O'Reilly's moved to centre-half forward position.
They're the umpires. 3-9 and 26. 60 metres from the Kangaroos' goal. Blakey, smothered by Camporelli. Coming back to McKay. McKay out wide. Lappin went to ground. Made a mistake there. Oh, King. Half showing the football and then kicking to Archer brilliantly.
Yeah.
Wonderful play by King. Archer at 50. Houghton on the mark. Carey and Whitnell together. So we've got some interesting matchups, haven't we? And both coaches are showing they're prepared to swing their players to either end of the ground.
Carey just saying, kick it to the top of the square.
Allen getting back with Burton, so there's a lot of height. Archer, not impossible from here. It's a good kick. It's a very good kick. It's just where Carey wanted it. And Carey's going to no score at the moment. Now goes through for Abraham.
Was it a push,
Looked like a push in the back to me, KB.
So no free kick given there. What do you think at home? You'll get a terrific look at it here. Do you reckon that's a free kick to Carey? I doubt it. But I'm not...
I'm with you, Bruce.
I haven't played as many games as you, KP.
No, only
suggested.
Was it in the back? The umpire got it right.
I agree with you, Bruce. Don't worry about it.
Thanks, Stephen. That makes me feel a whole lot better.
Was a bad kick by Camporelli.
He didn't agree.
Pickett just couldn't quite take control. Harvey can. He's a dangerous player. Here's Winston Abraham from 50 metres out. He'll unload a big bomb. Gives it both barrels. He's got it.
He's going to have to do one every week, isn't he, Jared?
It's the same position, Bruce, as he kicked it from last week. That one set up the match. I wonder if this is going to be...
Well, it is becoming his trademark for Abraham, isn't it? That elusive half forward who's doing a bit more than just kicking goals, and that was another beauty. And the Kangaroos are away now. Carlton have got to respond. Getting the ball from Houghton was Camporelli. Kicks the ball to centre-half forward. Actually got it from White, Camporelli. And look from behind again, showing you what's upfield, and Simpson presented himself and then kicks to the 50. McKay belting it away, only as far as Blakey. Harvey, they've got a real sniff here, haven't they, the Kangaroos? They're going in for an early kill by the look of it. Hickmott to Christou. Christou kicks to space, nobody there. Sitting and waiting is Blakey. Blakey runs hard and then kicks long. Burton the target, Allen goes from the back. Ball on ground level. Front spot there, now Mansfield, and unable to get it away. Coming out now to Colbert. Colbert high tackle on Pickett, surely. Calthorpe was in there earlier, I missed him. And Pickett's got the free kick about 60 metres from goal.
Was at the 5-minute mark this quarter, inside 50 was 0-3 in favour of Carlton. Now it's 8-5 in favour of the Kangaroos. Make that 9-5.
King just drifting down, Chatfield on the mark. And King can go back and have a shot from about 50 metres.
Here's the free kick coming up to Pickett, and that makes it 9-1 in the match. 9 favouring the Kangaroos and 1 to the Blues.
Well, I must say, just watching the match, I wouldn't have noted that, but it's a big difference, obviously. It's a good kick, isn't he, King, on the run? He's going to kick from 50, so it's a good shot from here. So that's from the other end of the ground, looking down the corridor. And King kicking on the 50. Not much of an angle, as you can see. Should suit it if he hooks it slightly. But he started it just the wrong side. And it's a behind. 45 plays 27, but they've got a bit of a grip on this. Good crowd here tonight. Big 20,000, 18 to 20,000 maybe, this vast stadium. Perhaps it's last weekend at Waverley Park. As Christou to bang her back in for the Blues.
Just 19 games in the past 3 years for Ange Christou, overcoming that chronic back problem. Here's Colbert. Very good in that first quarter. Beautiful kick. Carey caught behind. Was it a free kick? For blocking. Carey couldn't have a run at the ball. There was 3 Carlton players there. And if you watch here, this is where they come across, and you see there with Whitnell looking at Wayne Carey. Now, if he doesn't look at Wayne Carey, he'd get away with it.
Yep.
But if you look at your opponent, it's not your first action going for the ball, then you get pinged. So it was good umpiring. Carey should kick a goal. He likes it. He's got 5.
Gee, what a return. He's kicked 20 goals in the Ansett Australia Cup. It's some sort of a record. I think against Sydney, he kicked 7 of the first 8 or something at Marnica. Carey tonight is doing something similar here.
One of the most important things, I reckon, Bruce, is that you've got to play the ball on its merits. And Lance Whitnell didn't do that then. He was more concerned about Wayne Carey than going for the ball.
They've fallen apart here with the Blues, haven't they? A free kick by Allen against Burton. Bradley had the ball. They were going to go forward. And they're in danger here. There's Blakey looking forward as he goes long, and Carey nearly with another chance. The ball comes to ground. Whitnell belts it back only as far as shoulders come on the ground to Bell. Bell works it to Pickett. They won't panic. Pickett goes for goal. He might have kicked it. He just missed. Gee, they're good to watch. They're really going in hard here, the Kangaroos. They're trying to put this Blues team away. Wayne Britton there with Stephen Kernahan and John Worsfold. Bradley to kick it in. We can have a look behind him to see what's in front of him. But they need a goal, and they need it quickly.
Like Greg Williams in the background too. Jared doing a Stevie Wonder impersonation.
Yeah, they're all in the box there.
Allen to McKay. He'll have to be quick. Does well. Under pressure, great smother. Here comes Carey. He's going to kick 6.
Great football. Terrific football.
4 in this second term.
And what about the vision of Byron Pickett just to assess it? Split second, bang, he picked up the right option. There's a goal to Kangaroos.
Sensational football by Pickett. Unbelievable. His hands and then his ability to recapture the footy and then find Carey. Camporelli, they need a goal. Bends that back, and I think he might have got it. That's a terrific goal. Well, they need 2 more, but that helps. Carey's got 6 goals before half-time. The Kangas have got 8, and the Blues, against all the run of play, able to get 1 there.
Yeah, it's just a good individual performance, this one by Scott Camporelli, who's happy to be away from the attentions of the tags that he's had, in particular Ryan Pagan early. Shannon Grant's just come from the ground. He struggled a bit tonight with just half a dozen possessions. And Shane Clayton onto the ground.
Looks like Allen's leaving too, Dipper.
Yes, he's coming off, and also there's a blood rule. Mansfield's off as well. Already Carlton this quarter have used the bench 9 times to North Melbourne 4 times, and Byron Pickett's up the forward line now. It's not often we see him up there, and that's the reason why he's been able to smother and pass the ball to Wayne Carey. He's done that a couple of times. He's been up there for the last 10 minutes.
So Matthew Allen off the field. Prendergast has also come on for Carlton, just in his 2nd season, yet to play a senior game. A bad broken cheekbone last year. Big Spider. What a pick-up he'll be. Christou worked hard at the bottom of the pack. Bradley, it was clever play. The juggler didn't quite come off. Clayton. It's been a big surprise packet for the Kangaroos. Massey from centre wing to centre half forward. There's Prendergast, just come off the bench. Just couldn't quite hang on to the Sharon. Nelson driven into the ground by King. Hands and knees back to Ratton. A hurried kick to the square. Playing in front that time was O'Reilly. Bad bounce. Beats him over the line.
Well, I'm sure it's only an experiment of sorts, but you just can't imagine Lance Whitnell curtailing Wayne Carey. Hasn't got the athleticism to go with him, and they've just pushed everybody up the ground now and left him 1 out against the King.
Houghton over the back of Martin. The ball comes to ground. Hume ridden into the ground. They had it for a while, the footy. And I think against Camporelli for crunching there, coming over the top. of Carlton. Carlton will have to come back.
Really only in the way they've got it set up now, the Kangaroos, with everybody up the ground and Carey 650 metres out. They've only just got to get the ball and kick it over his head, and it'll be a sprint.
Gee, that's a good mark to Scholl.
Which Carey's always going to win.
Scholl pushing wide to Harvey. Oh, he'd spent it before he actually took the mark. Franchina couldn't get hold of it. Harvey and also Bell coming in hard. Bratton getting back. The ball's still in play. Colbert keeping it alive for a moment. Clayton running it over.
There's like a Herschel Gibbs in.
Yes, the South African, the brilliant fieldsman. Dipper, Stevens back on by the look of it.
Yeah, Stevens back on, Harvey off.
One area where the Blues are winning is in the centre clearances. It's 3-7, and interestingly, they've had 7 different players take the ball out.
Camporelli to Lappin, back to Camporelli. I think he's a high tackle. He might get a free kick.
I think that was a definitive hospital handball, that one, Kevin.
It really did set him up.
Takes a lot of knocks, Camporelli, doesn't he?
He's a good player.
He sure is. 14th disposal coming up tonight. A lot of them have been under pressure, but that goal a moment ago has given the Blues a bit of heart.
Between wing and half back, Camporelli to centre half forward. Prendergast hits the ball hard, couldn't take it. Bradley just lacking really good short touch tonight. Prendergast again working hard. This time it's a throw.
We'll just see Mansfield come off the ground with a blood ball. He's all taped up like a mummy. We'll catch him in a minute.
Scholl just wobbles a kick down. That's a good mark taken by Anthony Stevens. They always have the runners. No U-turn for the North Melbourne players. Blakey, he's played 299 games. Look at Pickett. Winston Abraham had it and lost it. Good defensive play. Massey tried to slap the ball on. They've got the numbers. Loose ball again. Whistle goes. Ball up. Just 15 metres out from goal. 6 goals to Wayne Carey. 4 of those goals coming in the second term. Christou, a fresh air shot. One behind. Simpson.
Franchina coming off and Mansfield to replace him. Must be difficult for Mansfield to breathe in what he's got on at the moment.
He's certainly taped up, as you said. Hume at half-back, giving the Blues a bit of run out of defence. He kicks to centre wing. Houghton and also McCartney. There he is, Michael Mansfield.
You sure it's Michael Mansfield, Dipper? It's not Johnny Worsfold running on, is it?
No, it's Michael Mansfield.
Well, it does look a bit like him, doesn't it, Dipper? O'Reilly there with Burton. Gee, now they're rucking against one another, those former Dockers. There's a lot of Dockers out there at the moment. The kick by Calthorpe, the centre half for Carey's got it. Well, it'll take a monster kick here. He's kicked 6 to half-time. He'll probably give it off. He does to Blake. He's made good position. He'll take the mark. Well, what a day it's going to be, or night it will be, when they play West Coast in the opening round on the Friday night and Blakey plays his 300th match. He is Mr. Professional, isn't he? What a wonderful career he's had as we have a look at the replay.
Yeah, he's been an outstanding player for a couple of clubs. And you would have thought when he moved on from Fitzroy that he would have been lucky to play in a couple of premierships, but he's been an integral player in the dynasty that the Kangaroos are building over the recent years.
Not such a good kick, but we're in the last minute. O'Reilly goes across to Christou.
It's a big year for Ange Christou. He really has to make another mark on league football. There's talk about him being traded at the end of the year, and they stuck with him, the Blues. It's now up to him to repay the faith.
Camporelli has given away the free kick to Blakey. He's durable. He's played the most number of Ansett Cup games. So longevity, and he's always a thumping kick. Colbert, I like the signs tonight. Archer sets himself. Whitnell did well, came across in front. O'Reilly would be happy to see the ball over the line. 58 plays, 34. Kangaroos by 24 points. They're led by 5 points at quarter time. There's 20 seconds left in this second quarter. Spider slaps it over the back. Pike caught by Ratton. That's holding the ball. They paid advantage. It wasn't there. So it'll come back.
It was in the end, unfortunately, wasn't it, with Camporelli having a space in front of him.
Well, the umpire's got to make that decision whether or not there was an advantage to the side. Well, the umpire is talking to Craig Bradley. Has he got blood as well? So he's coming off. Just see there on his arm, Jared, just a bit of blood.
Yeah, little nick. They all count.
Chatfield comes on for Carlton. So the skipper is off just before half-time. Just a few seconds left. Ratton will pump the ball out towards centre wing. The siren sounds a very good first half by the Kangaroos and a fantastic first half by Wayne Carey with 6 goals.
6 out of 8, KB. It's been the big story, hasn't it, of the opening half? No question about that. O'Reilly and Whitnell have been the 2 men. And there's Winnie with O'Reilly a moment ago. Those ex-Dockers. And at half-time, there's a 26-point advantage. Anthony Koutafiti's coming up in a moment, and then Kevin Sheedy. 8-11 to 5-3. And welcome back after half-time. Kevin Sheedy's just been up here for a moment. He's left us. I think he's left us, hasn't he, Kevin?
He has. He certainly has. He reminded me of Kieran Perkins giving all the sponsors a mention.
He's very good, isn't he? Speaking of very, very good, how are you, Dipper, down there?
Thank you. Kevin has left the building, has he?
We think.
He's terrific. And we'll catch up with him tomorrow night before the game. But a very good game here as far as the Kangaroos supporters are concerned. Their main man, Wayne Carey, doing just terrific football, playing great footy. And the players around him just helping him out everywhere. They're harassing, smothering, tackling, doing the right things, finding all the spaces. At the moment, we know the Kangaroos are a very, very good side, but they've been able to change their side around, and it'll be interesting to see who starts off in the bench. The Kangaroos have only used the bench 5 times throughout the match, whereas at Carlton, 17 times, just trying to find players on and off the ground. So,
Dipper, who would you play on Wayne Carey in this quarter?
Look, I reckon that Whitnell's all right there. Because he's got to learn, and the thing about Wayne Carey, he plays a different game. He stands there, he's got very good balance, whereas Whitnell, when he goes to play centre-half forward, he's just running around all the time. And
what would you think about Trent Houghton?
Well, young Houghton, I mean, all he's going to do is play defence, but defensively just punch the ball away and whatever. But as far as Whitnell, I think he's got a long year ahead of him, a very good year, and he can learn off the king.
Well, Houghton, Jared knew the answer when he asked you that one, because we've just seen Houghton and Carey together there, Dipper. But Trent Houghton has got the job.
That's why he's chairman selectors.
Good on you, Dipper.
No, I had the TV in front of me, Dipper.
8-11 to 5-3. Ratton's handball. It was interesting to Franchina. Franchina to fall forward, and Whitnell's got it. Well, that's a good start. Koutafiti's at half-time saying it's a bit scary being on Carey. Just his presence and.
There's no doubt
not scary physically, just scary in what he might do to you in terms of the scoreboard.
Well, there's no doubt this is a good move. If they can get O'Reilly and Whitnell up there, they've got 2 targets. The only problem is what happens if the ball goes to the other end.
It's a goal. No, he's hit the post, sorry. He has hit the post. It looked home. Well, a couple of quick ones here would really close this game, because it's only a 4-goal match, but the Kangaroos with a lot more scoring shots, and, well, Carey has put on a real show tonight. Yet again, 8 goals, 11 to 5-4, and there's that shot that we've been showing you tonight, and we do like it as Pickett's away.
Well, only 5 players have kicked double figures in Ansett Cup games, and Wayne Carey already with 6 goals, so he just might join that pretty small group tonight as we see the ball over the line for a boundary throw-in.
KB, on the bench for Carlton, we have Beaumont, Scotty Camporelli. Remember, he was tackled very hard by David King. He's just warming up on the boundary line. He's got a bit of a cork in his backside. Favola, Fletcher, Prendergast and Adam White.
O'Reilly on the forward line doing some ruck work. Lappin tries to keep the ball alive. Ratton. Hume has worked hard at the bottom of the packs also for the Blues. Kicked off the ground. Loose ball. Abraham does well. Just rolled the shoulders and came away. Tried to drill it this time. One of his rare mistakes. Houghton has got the job playing on Wayne Carey, so a transfer of play. Finds Lappin. Tries to set it up. Fraser Brown. The run from Lappin. Inside 50. Whitnell. In his way was Pickett. O'Reilly.
Got the chip.
Hickmott goes short. Mansfield was the target. Does he cop one in the back? Well, he's been a pinch hitter on the forward line when he was with the Cats a few times. Michael Mansfield went to full forward, was able to kick 4 or 5 goals in a league game.
He's come back onto the ground without the wrapping around his head, so he's obviously had some stitches put in the chin at half-time, wherever the gash was.
Well, he's on his preferred side. He'll be kicking from just inside 50. Mansfield, can he bend it back? It's at the post. 2 posters to start this third term for the Blues.
KB for the Kangaroos. We have Shannon Grant, Robert Scott, who hasn't had a run yet, Peter Bell, Adam Hay, Pagan, and Shannon Motlop.
It's a pretty talented bench. Now, Harvey looks up and has to go hard and high. Pike and O'Reilly. O'Reilly looks like he's going to be a very good player for Carlton, doesn't he? He can play in a lot of spots. 59-35, Pike, best and fairest in Fitzroy's final year. Not picked up by Brisbane and has done exceptionally well under Dennis Pagan. Bradley got it from Allen to Hume to Lappin, forced to kick in a hurry. Not a particularly good one. Hickmott went to ground, so did Clayton. Franchina, gee, terrific here. Abraham was a throw by Hickmott, and it'll be a free kick to Abraham, whose tackle was excellent. So Winnie was having a great night. Oh, Abraham, long kick to centre half forward. Carey would fancy himself, but Hickmott coming in, and he's provided some good support back there, Hickmott. He does play pretty tall. He's able to spring it up. Chatfield's kick down the line, and it finds Whitnell. 59-35. You'd reckon Whitnell's got to kick 3 or 4 goals in the second half for the Blues to win.
Well, he's dragged Mighty Mick a long way up the ground. Finds Manton on the forward line. One of the finals. Did quite well. Fraser Brown. It's a tough handball for Chatfield. Bearing down was Archer. Over the line was Franchina. Keeps the ball alive. Fraser Brown tied up on the boundary line.
Shannon Grant on and Clayton off. Just constant pressure by the Kangaroos. Hard tackling, chasing.
And that was a handball that set it up. It wasn't the second one, although that was a hospital job. But Glenn Manton's long sweeping handball was the one that sold him into trouble. The Kangaroos style of play would have been just to turn around, no handball, just kick to the top of the square and get it in that scoring area.
Abraham under pressure. Hickmott with strength to Hume. Tries to set up the Christou. Rockets the ball long. Nelson needs a kind bounce. Got a shove out from Harvey. Then a quick kick, heads towards the boundary line. Safety first for the Kangaroos. Christou can't trap it for a toss back in.
Just watching the Kangaroos through this Ansett Cup, it's just been staggering to me how many times players running through the midfield ignore their teammates where other sides would lay the ball off and give handballs. Dennis Pagan just must obviously just drill it into their brain that players that handball when they can kick rest on the bench.
Ratton got it. Centering the ball, danger one. Grant's able to belt it forward. Good attack on it though from Massey, and now chasing hard. Pickett may get into the action. Oh, he does! Unbelievable! What a player he is. He just took it away. He knew it was coming. Kicks to Archer. McKay running the wrong way. That was a terrific contest. Simpson tried to get it forward. Well done, the Blues here. And McKay gets it from Manton to Bradley, and Bradley out wide and finds his target in Nelson. What about Pickett at half-back?
Well, he's an exceptional player. He's got great reflexes, reads the game so well. Just his anticipation across half-back makes him an extraordinary player. Pike kicks the ball off the ground.
It had to be a free.
It's out in the full as well. Fraser Brown kicks to 50, drops a bit short. He was looking for Allen. They keep the ball alive. There he is, the man of the moment, Byron Pickett. Floats across, then just ambles off. Finds King. We've spoken before, Jared, about this amazing backline of North Melbourne. They keep it together. That's why I think Archer will be an integral part, along with Martin again. Throw in Byron Pickett as well, and King. Hard to beat. Mighty Mick in the centre square. Harvey. It's clever. With strength, Martin caught. Massey pumps the ball back towards the half-forward line. Here's Hickmott. Couldn't take it on the half volley. Harvey, clean hands, does it well. The E.J. Whitten medalist gives the ball back to Grant. Great smother by Chatfield. Luck's a fortune for Grant to centre half forward. There's Scholl. And look at Carey. The race is on. Streaming back. He's got it. It was always on in that play. Carey playing up the ground. As soon as Scholl got the ball, he belted back to the goal square. He's going for his 7th goal. 4 goals coming in that second term, 2 in the first quarter.
And they get so many opportunities, the Kangaroos, from that high percentage area. Just chipping the ball through. The Blues at the other end of the ground have missed a couple of shots that they should have converted.
And it just pops it through.
So he's got 7, Carey. It's a remarkable return, isn't it? And considering his performances leading into this match, the Kangaroos well and truly on top. Hickmott gets it back to Ratton. Good kick. And O'Reilly, I thought he took that, but play on called. Fraser Brown able to get hold of it. Neat kick to the pocket. Mansfield had just got away from him in the end. He's able to get back, kick to the front of the square. Stevens trying to retrieve the situation. Pike comes across. Has a bit of time now, Pike, and belts it cleverly back into the centre to Grant. They're just in the right spot at the right time. You don't see this too often. Wide to Blakey, but he's got a paddock, and Blakey's away and goes down towards Carey. Takes a beauty at centre wing. The complete footballer. Well, Hutton, I think the umpire might just tell him to call it a bit there. Down towards Grant. Back to Scholl, back to Carey. Carey unloads with a high one to centre half forward. Abraham caught underneath. Allen was there, hard ball to be won. Looked like a Kangaroo free. Man was being held on to, but he didn't get it. Might have been Clayton. Archer over the top, riding his man, Camporelli, into the back. Free kick for the Blues. 30-point game.
KB, you made a very interesting point about playing the ball on its merits. And if you have a look at the way the Blues are playing defensively, they're so conscious of crowding around that area at the top of the goal that they're allowing many of the Kangaroo players just to crumb freely.
They'll certainly make the Blues pay if they just concentrate on the one man. Although he's a great player, he's booted 7. McCartney, his first game back, he's been playing in the reserves due to suspension. Look at this, it opens up.
Well, there's 3 players.
Stevens.
There's so many others in defence.
The bounce wasn't good, but numbers will win out. Calthorpe trying to resurrect his career with the Kangaroos. Beautiful kick. Grant. Came from Stevens.
And that's a 50. Should be.
Carey on the lead. Plenty of space in front. And just crashes into the Carlton opponent in Hume. So a test of strength, flexing the muscles. The King is going for 8.
That's his 7th mark inside the forward 50. Carlton's only had 5 marks inside their forward 50, and they've been by 5 different players.
Well, it's hard to think that there's been a better player play the game than Wayne Carey. 40 metres out. Can he bend it back? Has he squeezed it? He has.
Well, Dennis Pagan, Tony Elshaw with him, Simon Madden at the back. And they're looking home now, 10-11 to 5-5. I think we said that last week with Brisbane, but I don't think it'll happen 2 weeks in a row, particularly the Kangaroos in front. Ratton, Brown got a high tackle, will get a free kick. Carey's kicked 8 goals tonight. His total in the Ansett Australia Cup is 23 in 4 matches. That's a sensational return. Bradley was on the lead. Nothing happening for the Blues here. They're in a hole. Simpson got it from Pike. They're finding men everywhere. Blakey's got the mark. At half-back. Comes away. Gets the ball to centre wing. Archer could be the target here. Front spot, Massey, good mark. Plays like a miniature Silvani in a way, doesn't he? Looks like him. Mackay, Camporelli, look away handball. Mackay took Blakey on and was effective. Kicks to full forward. Oh, fantastic fly from Mansfield. No mark. Ratton gets it back up. And the kick from Fletcher is just missed. It's a behind. Just thinking, going back to Carey, he probably can kick 100 goals when you think of it. He's kicked over 80 twice. He's going to play a lot deeper as his career goes on. He's probably a good chance to kick 100 before he retires from league footy, I think, in a season.
And now the move's been made on Carey. Manton now picking them up. He's a 4th opponent tonight.
Well, it's not nice being the fourth opponent going on to Wayne Carey when he's in full flight and he's got 8. Allen couldn't take it on the second grab. Spider, so agile for a bloke who's 6'11". Here's Blakey, the veteran. Here's Carey. Well, good players, they always seem to be on the end of poor kicks. They play in front, they run backwards. The ball follows them. But he is an amazing player. This is an amazing game he's playing tonight. He's kicked 8. 8 marks inside 50 for 6 goals and 1 behind to Wayne Carey. From right on 50, this is bending back. Not enough. It's alive with Colbert. Abraham, a bit of magic. Now you see him, now you don't. Through 4 behind.
Silly thing to say in a way, but if you're a great Kangaroo fan, you're thinking, away, you just hope that Carey hasn't wasted it so early in the season, but he's just so good, he'll just keep doing it all year probably. But what a start he's had to this season.
Well, I think, Bruce, you were saying before at half-time, he kicked 3 goals against Richmond, 8 against Sydney, 4 against Brisbane, and he's kicked 8 again tonight. That's 23 goals in 4 games.
Centre wing, belted away.
He does have a habit of getting up pretty early, though. The last time the Kangaroos won this same competition, he was in just absolutely phenomenal form right throughout. Just dominated it like he has been in this series.
So the Blues, half the score of the Kangaroos. Grant's got a lot better as the match has gone on. He's become a very effective player. Bradley going the wrong way. Danger. Nelson almost chopped off by Grant. Hickmott in trouble. Archer's got him for keeps, you think. Archer working hard. Bradley got involved. Camporelli, he's been the big possession getter for the Blues. And that one missing its target. Wanting Brown short. And it'll be a boundary throw-in. So Carlton trailing by 6 goals here. With Wayne Britton, who's been doing their coaching. Greg Williams is in the background with the sunglasses on, and Stephen Kernahan in front of him. Bradley tried to trap it. Simpson then tried to wide one. Camporelli up. And it'll be a ball up. Guess looking at Kernahan, he ended up playing just about a full forward after being a centre half forward. That's the way Carey's sort of drifting back, isn't he, to be a full forward towards the end of his career.
No, I think it's a pretty fair point.
Bradley's down.
And I'm certain he'll kick 100 goals before his career's out in the season.
It's a bit sore here, Bradley. I'm surprised at the start of the match with him so close and in trouble. He's been able to now pick himself up, be a boundary throw.
So there's the skipper, the veteran, Craig Bradley. Let's just see what happens to him here. Just a North Melbourne player coming across there. Mayer caught him high. Kangaroos by 6 goals. Abraham. The ball kicked out of his hands as we see Kelthorpe takes it over. Well, Carey's kicked 8. Winston Abraham has kicked a goal, and so has Brent Harvey. And for the Blues, singles to Ratton, Whitnell, Hickmott, Camporelli and Fletcher. Christou being pinched this time by Blakey, sends it straight back over the line on the full. Ben Nelson, a big improver last year for the Blues. Had a lot of trouble when he first came across from Sturt with glandular fever and knee problems. But last year really did show signs that he'd be a player for Carlton. Pickett, he's been a great player again tonight. Got a bit of a shove. Again, the ball sails over the boundary line.
Coming from Fletcher, there's Brown.
Bradley off the ground.
So much they can do at the moment, Dip, is there? Calthorpe building it hard and high to centre half forward. Scholl front spot. He's in good nick, I reckon, Scholl. I thought he played well last week. And he's come off the bench here tonight and done some very good things again. Has a wonderful understanding with Carey. Remember that kick out of the mid-air last week, and again tonight he was able to pop one to Carey. That one, well, it's going to be marked by Bell.
What a great mark going with the flight of the ball.
Burton was involved, but Bell marking it then the blood rule, I think, against Hickmott.
Let's have a look and see how we got through here. Once again, we've got 3 Carlton players all jumping at that ball.
Peter Carey-Bell.
Wouldn't the Dockers be able to pick a best of pretty good team, really, when you look at they've been in the comp since '95 and you pick the best blokes that have ever played for them, there'd be a reasonable team, wouldn't it? Oh, look at Glenn Archer, gee. So he'll be patched up.
Hayes come on for North Melbourne.
Hickmott just got a Glenn Archer's blood all over his elbow, just... Oh, sorry, inside his elbow. Yeah, inside his elbow.
How did Glenn Archer actually get that cut lip, Dipper?
Oh, he did it himself. He just loved that sort of stuff, doesn't he?
Peter Bell should kick it. About 40 metres out where he'll take the kick. Been too powerful, the Kangaroos, so far tonight. Deep into the third quarter. Been really impressive. Bell, good shot from behind the goal. And we're going well, aren't they?
When you talk about success stories in football, Jared, hard to beat that guy there with the ball, Peter Bell, who's just going to get a free kick. Just the 2 games with the Dockers, both against Richmond, ironically.
Amazing transformation, isn't it? A bit player with the Dockers and a superstar with the Kangaroos.
Calthorpe hoping to do what Bell has done, resurrected his career. McKay and Archer had a real battle in that first half. Coming off the bench, Pagan straight into the action. The kick's a poor one. Been taken by Houghton, sets it up. O'Reilly needs a kind bounce, gets it. Runs to 50. It's a centering kick.
Just been marked by Lappin. Hands has Lappin.
Well, he's a silky skilled player, isn't he, Lappin? Bobs up, took that great mark in the opening game last year. He's got to kick this goal because that's what he's there for, to finish off after taking marks like that, being well set up by Stephen O'Reilly. Directly in front, just 30 metres out. But deceptive. And he makes no mistake, pops it through.
So a goal to Lappin against the flow here. And the Blues still a long, long way back. A couple of talented players there, Lappin and Pickett with him. So he's had a bit of the ball, Lappin, getting his first goal. But where they're going to come from the Blues, if they come at all. 6, 11, 12. They need to put a couple together, as Jared just said, to really put some spark into this last quarter that'll be coming up. 3 minutes remaining in the third term. See the interchange there. Bradley and Brown being involved. Hume, he was pretty good early. Got involved in a couple of goals where he was able to handball on. Nelson trying to scoop it back through his legs. Blues push the ball forward. Blakey, Colbert, who started really well. Houghton no longer on Carey. Abraham to Grant. Grant to full forward. Scholl's the target. He's got him. His hands are good, Scholl. 32 years of age.
There's no one on the goal square at the moment. If he had a shot, it'd just bounce through.
Yeah, they're getting back now. Whitnell going back, but good mark. And Scholl leaning back and behind. Played most of his football across half back in the back line until about 4 seasons ago, when one of the big surprises of 1 year, wasn't it, where he was able to go forward. And from that point on, he's been a very good goal kicker and a very good forward. A real transformation in his game quite late in his career. 11-13 to 6-6.
Second oldest player at North Melbourne, behind John Blakey. Ange Christou finds out wide. That was Fletcher. Kicks back to the edge of the centre square. Big thump away by Hayes. Just come onto the ground. Former East Perth player. Has played 60 reserve games. Yet to play a senior game. Whitnell. Hands and knees, kicks it off the ground, taken by Scholl. Quick snap. This could bounce. Wrong way. Through from behind.
Robert Scott coming on for the first time tonight.
Who's coming off?
Harvey, young Brett Harvey.
So Harvey, who's a very good player, has been in the thick of the action tonight. He's kicked a goal. He's had 17 possessions and 3 marks. Ange Christou brings the ball back into play. Can he return to that great form of several years ago before that chronic back problem? when he was an All-Australian player back in 1995. Here's Scott straight away into the action, a centering kick. Hitting the ball hard was Bell. Quick snap. It's missed.
Peter Bell, like Harvey, gets in and under. He hasn't had as many touches tonight. Nelson to bring it in. Goes to half-back, almost up to centre wing. Drop mark there by White. Bradley getting hold of it. Kicking it long. Front spot was Allen. With him is Hay. This is a terrific piece of play when he came on last week. Took a mark and kicked a good goal, but he's been caught here. Over the ball. Lappin. Camporelli. Fletcher's already kicked one. Going for goal. It's going to be behind. So Fletcher with 1-2, and the Blues are 43 and the Kangaroos are 80. Simon Fletcher, as Gerard said, probably stiff last year. He was the man that missed out in the grand final after being a consistent contributor late in the season. Played over 40 reserves games for Geelong a few years back, so he's shown a lot of perseverance. King, good kick to Blakey at halfback, and Blakey quickly on to Stevens.
Finds his partner in crime, Stevens, and tries to drill it. Coming through is McKay. Hits the ball hard. Fletcher, the juggler. Motlop to Scott. Weaves his way out of trouble to the half-forward line. Scholl in front. Great play, off and running. Long bomb. Needs a bounce. Coming through strong was Christou. Kept alive by Winston Abraham. Just didn't quite get the bounce he wanted in the end. Nelson. The Blues, they're under pressure across half-back all the time. White in that last line of defence as the siren sounds. So a big turn by the Kangaroos. Let's have a look at this amazing kick here by Winston Abraham. He just got the left boot to it, just needed that extra bounce. A bit of a check side bounce was needed there, Gerard.
Yes, and great to see the umpire getting into the right position, KB. I noticed he got out of the way pretty quickly. He didn't want to trip up the bush.
After what happened to Monica last week, but it's 11-14 to 6-7. Carey's kicked 8 of the 11 goals, and the Blues have got a big job to do to get back. Welcome back to Waverley Park. Kangaroos have won every quarter here. They led by 5 points, 26, and now by 37. A huge advantage. And the big story tonight has been Wayne Carey's performance to three-quarter time with 8 goals out of 11. The men that have kicked, you said 5, Kevin, that have kicked 10 goals or more in the night or pre-season competition. Favola, who actually did it on New Year's Eve in the 2000 competition with 12. Peter Schofield, Peter McKenna, our great mate, Michael Roach, and Matthew Lloyd with 10. So Carey just might join that pretty exclusive club, actually. He's on 8 at the moment. Well, Justin Murphy has had the big knee operation after the grand final last year. We're all hoping he might be able to get back towards the end of the year for the Blues. He's with Dipper now.
Yeah, thanks very much, Bruce. Well, let's ask him, firstly, Justin, how's the operation been, and are you going to play at the start of the season?
Yeah, I've been training for the last 2 weeks, doing skills with the other guys, so everything's on track. I'll probably be playing in about probably around 14, so about another 3 months, 3.5 months.
So 3 months, so you're back on deck now, and what position do you think you'll play when you come back?
Well, of course I'll have to play in the twos, probably 3 or 4 games, and hopefully I'll just slot into a forward flank or something like that, and then slowly get my fitness up and hopefully get back on the ball where I was last year.
And the side's certainly changed around a little bit. Obviously a few players are out tonight, but you know, tonight's against the Kangaroos. It's pretty difficult to beat these boys.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when you lose Silvani, Koutafidis, Sexton, Rice and Hamill out of it. You know, they're in their best 18, and I think North have probably just worked a bit harder than we have tonight. We've got a few new guys in the team, and we haven't been able to cope with their pressure, and they've got one man up forward. Wayne Carey's probably done the damage, so when he's on fire, you can't really beat him. And
during the Ansett competition, different voice, Wayne Britton, how have the boys found him?
Yeah, he's been good, Brits. I mean, he's been around the club for it's been his 5th year, I think, or 4th year. He's great, Brits. You know, he's really thorough with his pre-match.
I'm sure Pargo's around him somewhere.
Yeah, no, Pargo still hovers around the back, but Brits has been fantastic for the club and helps a lot of the young blokes, and he'll only get better for us.
Well, great to see you on the band, Geelong. We wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we'll see you playing, not in the twos, but back in the seniors.
Thanks, Tip. Thank you.
Good on you, buddy.
Thanks, Dipper, for that. Yes, gee, fit Justin Murphy would be handy, wouldn't he? He was having a very good season and a good grand final.
Just looking at those guys who kicked the 5 goals, Bruce. Michael Roach kicked 10 goals. My memory is in 1982, he came on after half-time.
Kicked 10,
It was against Swan Districts, and there was big controversy because John Todd brought across the Swan Districts reserve side to play in the competition.
Yeah. Jeez. So in 82, let me think, what were you doing in 82, Coburn?
Still playing.
Still kicking goals. He wasn't a controversial figure, though, John Todd.
Oh, no. Well, here we go, the last quarter. Let's hope the Blues can make a bit of a run at the Kangaroos to keep us all on the edge of our seats, or actually put us on the edge of the seats. I think Jared's sitting right in the middle at the moment. The kick from Bell to centre half forward. Will Carey get the 2 to join the other 5 players? McKenna and Lloyd, Favola, Schofield and Roach. Lappin back towards Hickmott. Bounce. It was a bit cruel for him, but Hume got underneath it. Kicks towards O'Reilly, and I think O'Reilly's going to be paid that one. So Stephen O'Reilly, who started on Carey, was shifted in the second term. Carey got 4 goals in the second term after kicking 2 in the first.
That's a good mark.
Yeah, Allen not paid though, Jared.
That's not a good mark.
Kick by Hay. Archer, boundary throw-in.
Well, he just scooped it up then, but must have trickled out.
Attendance tonight, 12,641. It actually looks like a few more than that, but reasonably good crowd. Boundary throw-in at half forward with the Blues in attack.
Kangaroos by 37 points. There's Bell, always working hard. Keeps on running. Franchina is marked in front of Winston Abraham. Often gets the job to limit good players, Franchina. Probably pretty famous for his altercation with Nicky Winmar against the Blues as Hickmott just belts the ball inside 50. Out came Allen in front of Hay, taken away by Mansfield. They need a good kind bounce. They may get it. It's bouncing. Tried to be kicked off the ground by O'Reilly. Puts it through for a behind. Ben Archer also strapped up.
She's going to be uncomfortable, wouldn't it?
Looks like someone from Silence of the Lambs.
He's tougher than him.
Martin in front. The crummer is McCartney. Screws the ball back towards the centre wing. The race is on. Grant tried to hit it hard. Just didn't quite time it. McKay to the half-forward line in front. Allen just not quite getting his hands on the ball. O'Reilly with some pace, a centering kick. Hickmott, this is a brave attempt. Crunched. Couldn't take it. And this man, Byron Pickett, just a rebounding halfback to Motlop. Through the centre square, a casual bounce. Takes him on, backs himself in. Unloads long. Grant running hard. With Nelson, it's going to bounce through.
Big long goal for Motlop, 12-14 to 6-8. So it's a 7-goal game now, and surely the Kangaroos are on their way to next Saturday night's grand final. Bradley to Chatfield, back to Bradley to O'Reilly.
We saw Hickmott just hurt himself just before that goal, and he's just off the ground. It was a bit of a corky. Should be okay.
Well, we're going to see a bit of O'Reilly forward, aren't we, this season? And let's see if he can convert from here.
You reckon the Blues are missing their fullback, obviously, their centre-half back in Kuda.
Silvani.
Michael
Hamill
Sexton's also missing, and Aaron Hamill up in the forward line. So they've got 4 very key players that are missing, which really does spread the load.
Capuano and McKernan are 2 fair players out for the Kangaroos.
They're probably the only 2, though, because from the grand final team last year, the Bloodroll and Archer again, Mooney, Welsh, Allison have gone elsewhere, and Longmire's retired. So they're the 6 that aren't playing. So, God, you know, McKernan and Capuano are huge, aren't they? But you had the 4 up for the Blues. They're pretty big too.
McKernan's a huge player for North Melbourne, and we saw in the final last year, Carlton had no answer to McKernan when he was on the forward line. They just outsized. That's why they went and got O'Reilly, obviously. Help out as well.
Well, let's see if he can convert here, because I think he'll be having a lot of shots for goal this year. Good-looking kick. He's got it.
Stephen O'Reilly kicking his first goal. When you've got the fullback of the century, it's a pretty fair idea to play him at fullback, I think, Jared.
It's got some logic. And But if you're getting belted, KB, I guess you're looking for options, and there's one thing that Sauce has been able to do throughout his career, and that is go forward. And
well, you can be a pinch hitter,
yep.
but not a set forward. King unloads for the Kangaroos. Carey's kicked 8. Can he take a one-hander? There's a chance for Abraham. Didn't quite make contact with the ball. Chatfield did well. He keeps it alive. Peter Bell's going to kick a goal. No. It's been scooped out. So Chatfield will take the free kick for the Blues. Started on the bench. No senior games yet. Broke his jaw in '99. Had his tonsils out, so he's had a few setbacks. Whitnell caught high. No free kick. Bradley.
Just let it go.
Got rid of the ball, just dropped it. He's been pinged. Stevens just concedes ground, gives it across to King, unloads. This is a big kick. Off hands through for a behind.
Who's on the bench for the... Sorry, go.
Right, so for the last quarter, we have Adam White, Chris Massey, Trent Houghton, Adrian Hickmott, who came off during that quarter, Ange Christou and Fraser Brown.
So that's the Blues bench. As we see the scoreboard, 87-50. Out wide to Chatfield. So Chatfield going down the line here, wanting a mark from Favola, and Archer able to tie him up and built the ball over the line.
And Bruce for the Kangaroos, Shannon Grant, Simpson, Martin Pike, Burton, Clayton, Adam Lang. And we caught up with Tim Hamilton, the runner for the Kangaroos at quarter time. He's already been on the ground 41 times tonight. It's a lot of running.
Yeah, it's a fair bit of work, isn't it?
The side which is winning.
Whitnell was in the front spot. Hume did well and paved the way for Bradley. It was a hot handball, though, to McKay, and the ball forced over the line.
KB, cast yourself forward 7 days. The Kangaroos will be playing either the Bombers, and if they're playing the Bombers or Melbourne, who would you expect to be picking up Wayne Carey? I guess for the Demons it'd be David Neitz, and that will be a great battle, given that Wayne Carey once said that David Neitz is the best centre-half back in the game.
Maybe Fletcher. Fletcher might play him. Dean Wallace has played a few times, but I don't think Dean Wallace is the person for Wayne Carey.
Grant to fall forward. Coming across was Cole, but unable to take that one. Started this match really well. Beaumont cut off by Motlop. This is what he can do, and he just misses a lot. But he can break a line, Motlop. He was important in the grand final last year with his pace and his ability, like Abraham.
Well, he just played 7 matches last year, and 3 of them were finals.
He's got great anticipation, hasn't he? Kick by Fletcher out wide to Franchina.
He just looks dangerous, Motlop. Looks like one of those guys who one day might just kick a big bag of goals.
So his 7th game he's played in the grand final in a premiership. There'll be one other player that's played less, KB, less games.
As Mick Martin heads the ball back. Aaron Keating only played his 6th game, I think, when he played in the premiership side for Adelaide. Fletcher goes wide. Whitnell has been at both ends of the ground tonight. This is a good kick and finds Chatfield. Had to run hard. He's on half-back flank to the half-forward line for Vola. Haven't seen a lot of him tonight. Started at full forward and left the ground early.
Lee Colbert came off the ground, and Adam Lang is on the ground now, playing it up the forward line, where most of the night he's played it in the back line. So we'll see how he goes up at centre forward.
Kicking those 12 goals in the Millennium game puts a lot of spotlight on young Favola. Blakey with strength over the top was Archer. Thought he may have given away the free kick to Camporelli. Lappin to Bradley. Kicks long, doesn't hold back. Here's Allen this time. Hangs on to it. He's had a couple of attempts in this quarter, just hasn't quite been able to get good purchase on the ball, but that time he got it.
And the big difference between Matthew Allen of last year, and he was All-Australian and best and fairest winner for the Blues, was that he started to go forward, started to take marks. He's been a good ruckman for some years, but with the added responsibility of getting most of the game time last year, he really did blossom.
Allen directly in front, about 30 metres out. Should kick a goal. And
here's the coaching staff. Greg Williams at the back with Johnny Worsfold and Stephen Kernahan and Wayne Britton. Some great names in there, aren't there? 12-15 to 8-8. Belted forward.
Greg Williams is certainly trialling for the Blues brothers.
Blakey. Abraham, not impossible from here. Have a look at this one, going and going. Gee, he can kick a footy. He's kicked that from about 55 and it's gone way over for a behind.
I haven't seen a small player kick the ball as long as Winston Abraham.
He pumps it, doesn't he?
Sure does. He's kicked 1 goal 4 tonight. He's played very well, and that is outstanding. Not paid. Motlop on his wrong side and floating to the pocket and out of bounds on the fall. The Kangaroos 88 to 56. They've won 2 pre-season premierships under Dennis Pagan or Carey almost, and they're going to go into another grand final with him. Ryan Pagan's kick, but Bradley's got hold of it. Good kick into the centre to Hume. Lapham running out of room there, running in, disorientated, running into the Kangaroo player. And this is what King does so brilliantly. A couple of bounces, charges away, neat kick inside. Pagan cuts it off at about 65 metres. Will look to go long. Archer's going to provide one lead for him. He's going to pop it up to the front of the square. Archer getting back. Back there was Prendergast towards the line. Archer worrying him out. Boundary throwing.
It was that handball to Matthew Lappin that would never be given in the Kangaroos side, or rarely given. It was a lack of awareness that perhaps cost him, but the North Melbourne players would have just got back and bombed the ball long.
Scholl versus Whitnell. Carey came over the top. Grant knocked off the ball by Franchine. It was good body work to Beaumont. Scrubby old kick. Scott, clean hands. Kicks the ball back. Carey had 4 to beat. Taken by Beaumont. Some run out of defence. Prendergast. Spent a lot of time on the interchange bench. Pumps the ball inside 50. Ratton. There's a player down. Player down. We'll catch up with that in a moment. Mansfield to Bradley. 2 old-timers combined. And Allen has got it.
Shannon Grant it is that's injured behind the play.
So it looks a little bit proppy. Allen from right on 50. It's a good kick. He's got it.
So a couple of good goals for Allen. You're right, Jared. He made a little bit of a run here. Now here's how Shannon Grant's injured himself. He is going from the ground, but he is running off, but trying to keep the ball, pushing it forward. And he looked in a bit of pain, but he's been able to run from the ground. Dipper is down there, but
This looks like a twisted ankle there, Bruce.
Yep. Harvey coming on, Dip. So, well, the Blues, if they could kick one in the next minute or two, would give themselves a mad hope here. But Bell goes to centre-half forward. Carey outnumbered, but certainly not outplayed. Gets it to Harvey. Harvey, and almost well done in the end by McKay. Abraham cleverly to Archer. Archer hooking it back, and it's a behind.
Good defensive play by McKay.
So Archer's first score tonight. Must be very uncomfortable the way he's been strapped up. 12-17 to 9-8. Nelson to do the kicking in. So the Blues have kept it respectable, haven't they, with goals to O'Reilly and a couple to Allen in this last term. They've always found hard tonight. Well, here's danger. Carey's kicked 8. Slips in. Carey's kicked 9. He's closing. He's closing in on the Big Ten. Just read it too well.
Wayne Carey on screen. He's booted 9 goals. Needs 1 more to join Schofield, Roach, McKenna, Favola and Lloyd. The only players to kick double figures in Ansett Cup competition. Ryan, Pagan. Short kick still inside the centre square. Hume. Just a missed kick. Blakey goes to the ground. Hume, the tackler, ties him up. And he's been pinged. That's fair enough. If you fall on top of the ball, you've got to knock the ball out the moment that you go to ground.
Well, if that is the interpretation, KV, then I think that
if you elect to fall on the ball yourself, you must knock it out with the one action. That's been the rule. The umpires probably haven't paid it that way as much as they should have in the past, but it does appear tonight that's the way they're going. Manton, 60 metres out, goes short, finds Chatfield. The Blues will be looking for some of these younger players to come through, Jared.
Oh, no doubt about that. They really do need some too. They've got an ageing list. They've recruited some ageing players as well. So they need some of these fresh young legs to become senior players.
Chatfield from 45 metres. He's pushed it right.
So with that rule, KB, and that interpretation, what you're saying is that you've almost forfeited prior opportunity if you go to the ground.
Absolutely. That's the way the rule has always been. If you actually go to ground and fall on top of the ball in a contest, then you're given every opportunity then to knock the ball out. But if you actually dive on the ball, it should always be in the one action. Lang, caught in two minds. Good enough to get around Chatfield. That's a penetrating kick. Nelson, he'll get support from Beaumont. Quick hands. Touch of the fumbles that time from Whitnell. Good enough to sidestep. Good vision and finds Bradley. He's on the half-back flank. It all opens up here for the Blues. Got loose players. Lucky number 31 is Fletcher. Manton just sidestepped, just skipped around his opponent. Again, some poor handballing. Fletcher runs hard to 50. He's already been a goal kicker. And this man, Byron Pickett, reads it so well all the time. Some tremendous interceptions tonight and finds Pagan.
Pagan goes long into the centre. Scholl leaves it for Motlop. Clever mark. Kicked a long goal in this term. Remember, Carey's kicked 9. There's the look down the ground towards Big Spider Burton. Burton at centre half forward, and Whitnell back. It was a good mark. Played it on. Out wide. Franchina runs hard for him. The ball trying to run away. Franchina's got it to half back. Little one down to centre wing and finds Lappin. He's had a fair bit of the ball, Lappin. Just the one goal. He's been under pressure a lot when he's had it, but looks to be on the way to going on with it as he did last year and becoming a very important player. Chatfield has had it a little bit in his term. He's one of that group that Jared and Kevin were talking about, the fresh legs for the Blues that have got to make a step up. And O'Reilly's taken a mark. So we've seen a little bit of probably a significant thing here. They've recruited O'Reilly, not just for his ability at the back, but for his versatility as well. He's a good athlete. He's had a lot of hamstring problems for a long, long time. But you could imagine him kicking 30 or 40 goals for a season. It would be a very good contribution as a forward
and
who can play back.
I guess when he was recruited, Bruce, many people thought it was for the ability to play Steve Silvani forward, but I think it's really, as you're saying, just to play up the forward line. If Steve Silvani had this ball with great respect to the fullback of the century, you'd only say it was maybe a 30-70 chance. Steve O'Reilly's moving into that 60-40 category.
Just checking where the man on the mark was.
Well, I think he's made a point. The Kangaroos have cribbed about 3 metres on this one.
Which will make it hard for him, won't it? Because he's outside 50.
Tough kick here.
He's a very good kick, O'Reilly, and leans back, and maybe the 3 metres will be pretty important in the end. I think he's got it. I think it's a goal. Well, he's got it. It's a long kick. Yeah. He's probably shown enough in this last quarter to suggest he's going to play a lot up forward, I think, don't you?
2 goals in this final quarter of Steve O'Reilly, and also 2 goals to Matthew Allen. So the taut timber on the forward line has worked for the Blues in this final quarter. A trail 95-69. Ken Wayne Carey, kick 10 for the night.
He's got 2 on
lurking
him at the moment.
Around near the goal square. He's got 2 opponents. Maybe the Kangaroos don't want, maybe the Blues don't want Carey to create a bit of history himself. There's a great mark taken by Lang. So a young player may be coming through from the Kangaroos. There's Pickett, I should say, and gives it across here to Pike. Goes long. Nelson had it and lost it. Scholl did well, kept his eyes on the ball. McKay to Nelson. They combine across half back. Bradley's won a bit of the ball tonight. Abraham, magnificent play, great vision to Bell. He'll run to 50. He'll unload. Spider's getting back. Touched on the line by Houghton.
There's not much sentiment, is it, when the Kangaroos play? I mean, Carey was on for the short lead from Bell. I'm not sure Peter knew exactly how many goals the captain had. Gee, Abraham was good here, but he did the right thing from the team perspective and went long, as they always generally do. It's a bit of, that might be a fall against Christie. That's bad luck. Stiff, but it wasn't very good English from me a moment ago. But what I was saying, they generally do go long, don't they, and penetrate. Here's McCartney at centre wing. Pops it up. Now can Carey take a mark and kick 10 goals? He's just pushed out of the way. Abraham still with Winnie. Still with Winnie. Had it for a long time. Got it back to Pagan. Is it a throw against Abraham? Brian Shin coming in.
Not sure, but if Wayne Carey takes a mark in that situation, it will be a freak because he had 15 Carlton players just leaning on him.
Gee, Abraham's unhappy here. We've got one of the solar plexus. But deemed to be... In fact, has he got the free kick, Abraham? I thought it was going to the Blues.
He got thrown down to the ground after he kicked it.
In fact, thanks, Dib, and also Jeff Geeshan, who's just very close to us, has just told me the same thing. So it's an Abraham free kick. So he can kick this, can't he, from 50?
Geez, I think it's a questionable free kick. He was halfway through the tackle. He unloaded the football, and all he's done is complete the tackle.
There's the angle. We know how long he can kick the foot. He just sort of caresses it towards goal. Carey, not quite. Is it still in play, or is it a behind? I think it's a point. So 97 to 69. Got about 3.5 minutes to go. And the Kangaroos are through to the final. As I said earlier, they've won a couple of pre-season night premierships since Dennis Pagan's been there in 1993. He's also won 2 Coca-Cola premierships. So it will be the Kangaroos into yet another grand final under Dennis Pagan's remarkable rule. Yep, a good mark by Massey to Bradley.
Just sidesteps his opponent. This is a great kick on his non-preferred foot and just rockets the ball off too. That was good play by White. It was a good contest. Here's Franchino. He's going to set it up to Allen. He needs a bounce. He's got it. He's kicked 3 for the quarter.
With kick 5, the Blues out of O'Reilly and Allen have made this last turn to make that look a lot better. So a couple of interesting things here. Allen getting 3 goals. We saw him go forward a lot last year, and O'Reilly getting 2 in the final term. It's going to give the coaching staff of Carlton something to think about.
They're still starting the bounces with Beaumont just 2-teaming Wayne Carey with man.
Lappin outside the 50. McCartney unable to get rid of it. Made a pretty good attempt. Mansfield comes back to Houghton. Houghton to Massey. Massey's kick to just inside the 50. Didn't go far. And Pagan takes the mark. It's been pretty good, Pagan, again tonight.
He's had a good Ansett Cup series, Bruce.
He sure has. He's on the rookie list at the moment. Archer to Pickett to McCartney. Sweeping handball to Lang. Lang kicks the ball to half forward. Outnumbered there, but Bill might get into the contest. Pike back to Bill. Where's Carey? The kick in towards the pocket. Shoal at the back. Oh, good mark by Beaumont. He's a very skillful player, Beaumont. He took a clever mark. Pops it up. It's okay. Mark taken there by Houghton. Houghton's kicked back into the centre. White gets it to Lappin. Lappin's poor kick. That's not good enough. To Burton. Burton's a wobbly old one also is not too good. And White gets it back. White's handball to Franchino, who runs hard and then goes to the pocket. Good kick. O'Reilly. Mark paid, is it? Or is it in the back against Archer? Well, if he kicks this, they would have got 6 goals out of Allen and O'Reilly in the final term. And from what we've seen so far, you back O'Reilly to goal from here. Reckon a lot of Blues supporters will leave this ground saying, well, I think David Parker's going to play O'Reilly forward from now on, don't you?
Well, in particular, if Steve Silvani's groin recovers.
And they're a very different sort of player, but Spalding played a really good role, didn't he, at Carlton, centre-half forward. The fact that he played almost defensively at times at centre-half forward suggests that O'Reilly might be able to do something similar.
He was a vital player to him, Spalding, because he contested very strongly and brought the ball to the ground.
You think that this bloke could do something similar, being a very good defender. And he is a good kick. Probably a better kick than Earl, don't you think?
Marginally, Earl.
Well, look at that one. Just drifting off, okay.
He's never going to kick it after the build-up you gave him.
No, true. But still wasn't a dreadful kick. He's going to kick a lot of goals, I think, O'Reilly.
Just might take a bit of pressure off Whitnell as well with another big player down there.
And Earl Spalding sitting back at home saying, I would have kicked that, Bruce.
And he would have, that's for sure. But whether he would have kicked the goal is another thing.
97 plays, 76. Under a minute left. free kick, and Bradley's disappointed.
Come on, KB, get it down the other end and get Carey his 10th for us, would you?
Well, Brent Harvey would have to start moving the ball pretty fast. This bloke can kick the footy. They've conceded ground.
That is interesting.
That doesn't look like it's Wayne Carey territory to me. Pickett to Archer.
You've got 28 seconds, KB. Get him a goal.
So a casual bounce, then drills it to McCartney. 20 seconds left in the game. McCartney, hard run. Comes from Pagan, just slowing the game down. I don't like Carey's chances. As the Kangaroos are playing keepings off, and the umpire says, kick it forward. Here's Scholl in front. Long arms go up as the siren sounds. Very strong wind to North Melbourne. 13-19-97 to the Blues, 11-10-76. With Wayne Carey on screen, the star of the night, booting 9 goals.
And I think Dipper might have you, Dipper.
Yeah, thanks very much, Bruce. Wayne, congratulations. Made a 9-goal effort, but it's a terrific win by the boys.
Yeah, it was a good win. We knew Carlton would be fired up because, you know, we were last year grand finalists, so we knew that they'd want to come out here and make amends. But, look, I thought it was a pretty good game. The ball was delivered very well tonight, so it made it a lot easier. But, no, a good win by the boys.
And a different side at the moment. We've got Kickett up there, and we've had, young Pickett up there, and also Lee Culver centre-half forward.
Yeah, look, Lee's coming back from a knee reconstruction. He's getting better and better each week, and we know the abilities and talents of Byron Pickett. He can play anywhere, and he played a little bit in the midfield and up forward today, and it's something he hasn't done for a while. So I thought that was a good effort.
And Dennis Pagan said before the game, you haven't mentioned anything about premierships, but next week you're playing a night grand final.
Oh yeah, I think it's a great experience for the young kids that haven't played much. You know, the kids that haven't played in many finals, and it'll be like a final, either be Melbourne or the Bombers. So hopefully it'll be a big crowd at the MCG next week, and it'll be exactly like a final. So good experience for everyone.
Thanks for joining us, mate. Well done.
Thanks.
Good on you, Dipper, there with Wayne Carey. There's Lee Colbert, who was really good, wasn't he, at the start of this match? And
some good signs.
Yep, for sure. Good signs all round. And the Blues had a good last term too, so they've got a bit to take home with them. But well, what a consistent team this one is. Pickett did some things tonight that were just extraordinary, didn't he? And we've seen a very good performance yet again from Dennis Pagan's team. It was 13-19 with Carey getting 9 at the end. Over the Blues, 11 goals, 10. Welcome back. A good quarter for the Blues in the end, but the sting and bite had gone out of it, hadn't it? And the Kangaroos won handsomely. 13-19, Carey getting 9 to Carlton 11-10. So the goal kickers, what a remarkable series Wayne Carey's had. He's kicked 24 goals. Now, if he did that every week, if he averaged the 6 that he has, he'd have 132 goals going into the finals. I mean, that is unlikely, that's for sure, but he is going to get 100 goals, you'd reckon, in a season. And Allen and O'Reilly were the principal goal scorers in that last quarter. So, Jared, we're going to go and hear that Kangaroo song after their victory tonight. Forward to having Shane Gould and Ian Thorpe on together, Jared. And we're going down to Dipper, who's got David King with him.
I certainly have, Bruce. David, just terrific win by the boys tonight. Your captain in full flight tonight.
Yeah, it was great to see him play so well, and we're on to the grand final now, and hopefully we get 80,000 people there and a few Kangaroo supporters in there as well.
And the conditions tonight, before the game, obviously quite warm, but cooled down a bit.
Yeah, it was very still though. It was very calm, so it's probably one of the better nights we've had down here lately.
It's a very strong side at the moment. There's only certain positions on the ground, and there's about 40 blokes who can play there.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get a game at North this year, and I know a few of the younger blokes are fighting like dogs to get in, so it's great.
Well, thanks for joining us, mate, and well done.
Thanks.
Good on you. Who do you fancy tomorrow night, Jared?
Well, I think the Demons have shown a lot during this series, and David Neate certainly looks the goods at centre-half back.
But going into the match, you'd have to favour the Bombers to win, and they've got such a great forward line. And James Hird back, looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, that's going to be a big highlight of tomorrow night's match. There's next week, the grand final at the MCG. The Kangaroos, will it be the Demons or will it be the Bombers? Terrific again tonight. Kerry getting 9 and the Kangaroos getting home. Good night.
The Ansett Cup, proudly brought to you by Nike. What are you getting ready for? Hold on Commodore Series 2. Drive the pride, drive the passion, drive on. Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning. Han Premium Light, now that's taste. TAC and Ansett Australia, official airline to the AFL.